Good morning, students. Welcome to Marudhar Senior Secondary School online classes. In this video of class 8, we will discuss geography chapter 2nd, that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. In our previous videos, we have completed our first chapter. So let's begin our new chapter today. Our first topic is land. What is land? In short, we can say land is uppermost layer of the crust. Uppermost layer of the crust. How? As we know, our earth has divided into 3 layers. The innermost layer is known as core, the middle layer is known as mantle, and the uppermost layer of the earth is known as crust. Now, the upper layer of crust, the topmost layer of crust is known as land. Or we can say that on the crust, the solid portion of earth of land mass is known as land. On crust, we see two features of earth. First is covered by water, second is landmass. So the hard the landmass is known as land on the crust. Land is among the most important natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the earth's surface, and all parts of this small percentage is not habitable. The uneven distribution means unequal distribution of the population in different parts of the world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. As we see, we have 7 continents, but all these continents cannot have equal number of population. Why? Where in some place where we see that there is a lot of public, where we see a region where no one can live, just as we see Asia, then we will see a lot of people live here. But when we move to poles, South Pole, North Pole, Antarctica, when we move to Antarctica, then we will see no one population is presented there. Why it is so? It is because of the quality of land and climate. We will live there where we find the suitable climate, the suitable landmass for agriculture. Mostly population live where we find our agricultural profit, where people feel suitable to practice their agriculture, and from where he find all the facilities just like as transportation, market, etc. We want to live there. The rugged topography, steep slopes of the mountains, low-lying areas, susceptible to water logging, desert areas, thick forested areas are normally sparsely populated, or uninhabited plains and river valleys offer suitable land for agriculture. Hence, these are the densely populated areas. Where do we live? We live on plains. We cannot live on mountains, we cannot live in hilly areas, we cannot live in desert, even we cannot live in forest as well. Where can we live? We live where we found our suitable condition, just as plains, flat plains, where we found river valleys for our water sources, for our agricultural purposes. So these are some features where do we want to live. As we can see here in our diagram, people live on plains where they practice their agricultural activities. People live there nearby the society where electricity is founded. People population is increased where we find we transportation facilities, school facilities, medical facilities. As here we can see the public parks, industry sector, where we found the conditions suitable for us, we want to live there. Now land we discussed. Now how do we use our land? What is land use? Land use is the using of land. For what purposes, in what manner we are using the land, we are utilizing the land is known as land use. Land is used for different purposes, such as someone wants to cultivate, someone used land for forestry, someone for mining, someone building their house, someone building their roads, building roads for the public, someone open schools, someone open hospitals. So there are a lot of purposes to use the lands. This is commonly termed as land use. The use of land is determined by the physical factors such as topography, soil, climate, minerals, and availability of water. Human factors such as population and technology are important determinants of land use pattern. Land can also be classified on the basis of ownership, such as private and community land. Private land is owned by individual. A person has its individual right on the land, where community land used by the community. People of all the community can use that land just as park, or people can use public parks, or people can use public schools. But where you cannot allow any people to live in your house without any purpose, or with purpose you cannot allow any condition, any people, because it is your individual property. You have right to do anything with your own property. Community land is owned by the community for common uses, just like as collection for fodder, fruits, nuts, or medicinal herbs. These community lands are also known as common property resources. People and their demands are ever growing, but the availability of land is limited. The quality of land also differs from place to place. People started encroaching the common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes in the urban areas, and to expand the agriculture land in the rural areas. Today, the vast change in the land use pattern also reflected by the cultural change in our society. Land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, desertification are the major threats to the environment because the expansion of agriculture and construction activities. Let's try to understand this topic. In this topic, we can understand that the land is limited here, but the demand of people is continuously increasing, but land is limited here. Someone wants to cultivate it, someone wants to set up their industry, someone wants to set up their hospital, someone wants to do mining here, someone wants to do different types of work here. The land is limited, but the demand of people is continuously increasing, so that land cannot get enough time to recover its fertility, to recover its properties, so that we can see different types of problem here we face, just as land degradation. The strength, the power of land now continuously decreasing by overusing of chemicals, by overusing the chemicals, so that our environment got polluted, so that landslides could be seen easily here, soil erosion we can see here, desertification we can see here. And the major purpose of these reason of these things are deforestation. For the purpose of fulfill their needs, human being cannot see, and human being does not want to see the how harmful we are doing with the environment, how our environment is getting damaged. Deforestation took place for the purpose of industries, for the different, not for industries, for agriculture. We try to destroy the forest, we try to make plain the forest. So we should use land, but we should care of land also. Then how can we conservation of land resource? Growing population and their ever growing demands has led to large scale destruction of the forest cover and arable land, and has created a fear of losing this natural resource. Therefore, the present rate of degradation and land must be checked. Afforestation, land reclamation, regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and checks on overgrazing are some of the common methods used to conserve land resource. What are the factors? How can we try to conserve our resource? We should, where we overuse, not use, where we try to overuse chemical for our agricultural, we should give them time, we should compromise with these sets, and we should try to limited use of chemicals. We should afforestation, we should do plantation everywhere as possible, and we should try to check overgrazing. These are the some methods used to conserve land resource. Now next our resource is soil. What is the soil? Soil is the thin layer of land. The top thin layer of land is known as soil. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil. It is closely linked to the land. Landforms determine the type of soil. Soil is made up of organic matter, minerals, weathered rocks found on the earth. This happens through the process of weathering. What is weathering? Weathering is breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by the temperature change, frost action, plants and animal human activities is weathering. The right mix of mineral and organic matter make the soil fertile. We should not mix over minerals, we should not mix over organic matter. A balanced mixture can more fertile the soil, because it covers different types of nutrition. Those are essential for the growing of plants and crops. Now when we are reading here about the soil, the question is how soil be formed. Is it a short term process or long term process? Soil formation is long term process. The major factors of soil formation are the nature of the parent rocks and climatic factors. Parent rock means those rocks from where the soil take place. from where those rocks from the soil origins. Other factors are topography, role of organic matters, and time taken for the composition of the soil formation. All these differ from place to place. First, we'll talk about parent rocks. The and the soil texture of the soil depends on parent rock. It determines the color, texture, chemical properties, mineral contents, permeability. Second is relief. Altitude and slopes determines the accumulation of soil, collection of soil. Flora and fauna and microorganisms affect the rate of humus in formation. Time determines thickness of the soil profile, because when a rock has full time to weathering the rock, in the weathering process, then soil will change their form. It will come in the powder form, it will come thickness, it will increase its thickness. Next is climate. Temperature, rainfall influence rate of weathering and humus formation. These are some factors which are affecting for the soil formation. Our next topic is degradation of soil and conservation measures. Soil erosion and depletion are major threat to soil as a resource. Both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soil. Factors which lead to soil degradation are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, rain, wash, landslides, and some flood. These are the reasons of soil degradation. When we use over chemical fertilizers and pesticides, the soil loses its fertility. It loses its important nutrients. When flood comes, then it removes soil from their place and it deposits it anywhere, any other side. So what is the purpose to conserve these resources? First measure to conserve the soil is mulching. What is mulching? The bare ground between plains is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw. It helps to retain soil moisture. Next is contour plowing. Contour bearing means stones, grass, soils are used to build barriers along contours. Trenching are made in front of the barriers to collect water. Rock dams are built up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gullies and further soil losses. As it is, we have terrace farming here. Broad flat steps or terrace are made on the steep slope so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops. They reduce surface runoff and soil erosion. Next is intercropping pattern. Different crops are grown in alternative rows and are sown in different times to protect the soil formation, rainwash. Next is contour ploughing. Ploughing parallel to the contours of hills slope just as slopes to form a natural barrier of water to flow down the slope. Next is shelter belts. In the coastal and dry regions, a row of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. Just as here, a belt of trees planted here. So this was our land and soil and tomorrow we will see our water and wildlife resources. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.